Sliding into the cockpit of the 2026 F-16 Fighting Falcon, you immediately understand why this aircraft has earned such a legendary reputation. The first thing that catches your eye is the panoramic bubble canopy. Unlike many fighters with more restricted frames, the Falcon gives its pilot an almost unbroken 360-degree field of view. In a dogfight, that kind of visibility is priceless, and even sitting still on the runway, it feels like you're sitting at the center of a glass dome with the world spread out in front of you. Now, the seat itself is reclined at about 30 degrees, which isn't for comfort in the traditional sense, but to help pilots withstand high G-forces during sharp maneuvers. You don't sink into plush leather here. It's more about functional design that keeps you locked in place when the jet is pulling extreme turns. The harness straps are tight and secure, giving you the sense that you're physically part of the machine rather than just a passenger. The control system is another standout. Instead of a traditional center stick, the F-16 pioneered the side stick controller mounted on the right armrest. It feels futuristic even now, decades after its introduction. The stick is pressure sensitive rather than moving in big arcs, so you're giving subtle inputs instead of yanking the controls around. That means when you fly, every twitch of your wrist translates into precise, razor-sharp maneuvering. Sitting in the cockpit, just gripping that side stick gives you a rush, like you're holding the reins of a thoroughbred racehorse that's ready to bolt at Mach speed. Looking forward, the instrument panel has come a long way since the early F-16 seconds of the late 1970s. In the 2026 variant, you're greeted by a glass cockpit dominated by large digital multifunction displays. Everything from radar tracking to weapons systems to flight data is just a tap away. Combined with the helmet-mounted sight, the interface feels more like something out of a sci-fi movie than a traditional fighter jet. You look at a target, and the system locks on. It's that intuitive. Now, with this Zimmerit-coated concept edition, the cockpit framing itself has been given subtle aesthetic touches that echo the rough exterior. The canopy rails, seat trim, and even some of the cockpit panels carry a textured metallic look inspired by Zimmerit patterns. It doesn't interfere with the function, but it gives the pilot an atmosphere that's both futuristic and battle-hardened. It's a cockpit that feels less like a sterile fighter environment and more like a commander's chair in a machine with deep roots in military history. Every switch, every display, every control is placed for speed and efficiency. But what really sells the cockpit experience is the way the F-16 makes you feel. It's not luxurious, but it's empowering. Sitting inside, you don't just feel like you're in a jet. You feel like you're in a machine built to respond to your every command, one that turns human instinct into supersonic performance. And in this Zimmerit-coated edition, you also feel like you're carrying a legacy, flying a design that merges past toughness with present technology. Do you want me to roll into part 3 next, where I cover the performance and handling of this 2026 F-16 Zimmerit edition? Welcome back to the channel. Today we've got something that breaks all the rules of conventional reviews. Because this isn't just a car, or even just a plane. It's the 2026 F-16 Fighting Falcon, but with a twist, a Zimmerit-coated finish. Yes, you heard that right. A modern multirole fighter jet wearing the kind of anti-magnetic armor coating that German Panther tanks had in World War II. It's an unusual mashup, but it gives us the chance to look at the Falcon in a completely new light. Let's start with the exterior because this is where the Zimmerit really makes the biggest difference. The F-16 has always been known for its sleek profile. It's a single-engine fighter with a sharp nose, swept-back wings, and that famous bubble canopy, giving it a perfect balance between aerodynamic efficiency and battlefield presence. Normally, you'd see this jet in smooth gray stealth paint, absorbing radar and glinting under the sun in a polished way. But with Zimmerit coating, everything changes. The surface isn't smooth anymore. It's ridged, textured, and patterned, giving the jet a raw, almost armored look. The Zimmerit finish adds a visual toughness to the aircraft. Imagine the Falcon sitting on the runway. Instead of the usual slick fighter jet appearance, it has this gritty, rugged skin that looks like it's straight out of an alternate history. The ridges catch the light differently, making the whole body of the jet look more aggressive. The intake beneath the cockpit, the wing roots, and the tail fins, all those areas pick up the Zimmerit patterns, transforming the F-16 into something that feels like a crossover between a World War II war machine and a 21st century fighter. Even though Zimmerit on an aircraft doesn't have the practical purpose it once did on tanks, in 2026, it's treated like a special edition finish. It's about style, heritage, and paying tribute to military history rather than practical function. And honestly, it works. When you first lay eyes on it, it doesn't feel like you're looking at just another F-16. You're looking at a reimagined piece of engineering art, one that bridges the aesthetics of two very different eras. Walking around the Falcon, the little details stand out. The landing gear doors, usually smooth, now have that patterned texture. The leading edges of the wings still cut through the air, but the coating gives them a rugged definition. And even the tail with its iconic Falcon silhouette feels heavier, more solid, like it belongs on a machine built for endurance and toughness rather than just agility. It's like the F-16 has put on a battle-hardened uniform, and it wears it with confidence. This first impression matters, because in the world of aviation, looks aren't everything, but they set the tone. The F-16 Fighting Falcon has always been about speed, maneuverability, and versatility, but with Zimmerit, it gains a layer of historical character, something that instantly makes it stand out from every other jet on the tarmac. It's not just an aircraft anymore, it's a statement piece. Do you want me to continue with part 2 next, where I'd go deeper into the interior and cockpit design in the same review style? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into something that mixes history, aviation, and imagination, the 2026 F-16 Fighting Falcon with a Zimmerit-coated finish. The F-16 is already one of the most iconic multirole fighters ever built, serving in dozens of countries and known for its agility and versatility. But imagining this legendary jet outfitted with a Zimmerit-style coating brings a whole new level of uniqueness, blending World War II armor protection aesthetics with the sleek lines of a modern